this lesson, we're going to zoom in the lower left of your deck and begin our posts for our railing by using the rectangle command. Single left click in your draw toolbar at the rectangle command. We're going to start at a random point on our blank screen. Simple single left click and begin dragging a rectangle. Because we're not sure where we exactly started, we're going to hit Shift 2 or the @ symbol, Shift 2, and now you can see the @ symbol is formed, and now we can tell the computer exactly where we're going to go with our rectangle in X, Y. The @ symbol tells you that you've specified a new first point as being 0, 0. If you don't enter the @ symbol, the computer would have referenced the second point from the original 0, 0 and give you a very long rectangle. So we're going to start at that point and we're going to type in 4, 4. Select enter. So we told the computer at that point we wanted to go over 4 in X and up 4 in Y to create a 4x4 square. Just like you did with the hot tub, we're going to take a line and we're going to do a line corner to corner on our square. I'm going to select escape, select the line, and go corner to corner on our railing. I'm going to use the move command that we've already learned, just like we did with the hot tub. I'm going to select move, and I am going to do a front drag, single left click to capture my whole post. No more needs to be selected, so I want to hit the enter key. Where I want to pick it up from, or my point of displacement, is the center or midpoint of that line I drew. Single left click, and now you've picked up your square. I'm going to place that square or your post to the midpoint of my other corner to corner line. You know how to post. I'm going to delete my little reference lines, and I am going to begin an array command. Use the array command to put all the deck board lines across. We're going to use the array command and array the square as our post all the way across our railing, and then trim them out. So I'm going to start my array command by going underneath modify and selecting my rectangular array. I'm going to select my post with a single left click, and I'm going to select the enter key on the keyboard. And you can see an array of posts begin. For my rows, I only need one. I'm going to start on this railing first, so I'm going to type in number 1. The columns, I'm going to have 6 and put them across. Between the columns, I'm just going to type in 47 to represent 47 inches. Just to preview, I'm going to single left click at my screen, and you can see my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 posts have formed across my railing, 47 inches apart. I'm going to check single left click my close array. I'm going to now go in and trim each one of those. Going up to my modify, single left click on trim, and begin deleting all of the inside lines. And I'm going to kind of use the fencing, click, hold, and drag through the lines. You could also single left click on each line. It's good practice to understand how you can trim out multiple things with a few different techniques. I'm going to select Escape to exit that trim command. Now you're unfortunately going to have to explode now that these are trimmed out, because they are one unit, and you could modify that array. But we want to array this single post here up. If we were to select the array, it would array the whole unit up. So back to explode, in your modify, there's that little broken box. If I single left click on that, and then single left click on any box in the array, and then select my enter key, they're all now single entities on my drawing. I'm going to select Escape. I'm going to go back to my array. So underneath Modify, my rectangular array, I'm going to single left click on my square. And in this manner, I'm going to hit enter, and you can see a new array pops up. This time, I'm going to kind of go the opposite. Instead of column 6, I only need to go one column. I'm going to single left click at my screen so you can see a preview of my one column. See, currently I have 3 rows. And I'm going to go 6 rows. So you can see now I have 6 rows or 6 items in my array. Between the rows, as I did here, 47, I'm going to go in between 47, single left click on the screen to preview, and you can see my array, it perfectly terminates at my building line. I'm going to select Close Array, and in the same manner I did with my 6 on the bottom, go to my Trim in my Modify and trim out each of those posts. One more technique that we're going to be doing for this lesson is my copy. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to cap off my railing by means of just single left click on the line and cap off my railing. Remember, my building line here, I'm not going to extend that railing all the way to my building line. I would have a railing against my building. So it stops here where my building ends. To copy an object, in your Modify toolbar, we use things like Move and Trim, Explode, Offset, and so on. Right in the middle is your copy. Same as Move, it just gives you more items. I'm going to single left click on Copy. I'm going to zoom to my one post here. I'm going to single left click on my post. And then I don't want to select any more objects, so I'm going to hit the Enter key on the keyboard. The base point, I'm going to pick it up here in anticipation of putting it, using my zoom commands, at this midpoint here. Single left click, and now you've picked or copied another one of those posts. I'm using my finger on the wheel mouse as a button to pan closer and closer and closer. I'm going to use the wheel to wheel towards the screen and pan a little bit and drop it with a single left click right at the midpoint of the railing. Select Escape to exit that command. You now have a copied post. By picking it up at its midpoint, and dropping it at its midpoint. For our last lesson, we're going to use and practice the array command again. We're going to select modify, we're going to select array, and we're going to select that post that we had just copied. We're going to select the enter key on the keyboard. We want to go down. We're still going to have just one column. Single left click to preview. Rows, we are only going to have 2 rows. And in this manner, between the rows, we're going to type in negative 47. Single left click, and you can see because we have the distance between negative, we're going down in negative y 47 inches. I'm going to select enter or close array to exit that command. We're going to trim out those last 2 posts. I'm going to double click on my wheel. I'm going to hit escape. You now have posts on all your railings. Go File, Save As, and make sure you're still in your path, and select Save.